Tried to get some shocks replaced on my way down to Florida, in Georgia and Florida. No dice, nowhere. On this episode of
The Clutch Trucker Channel.
Clutch Trucker, filmed before a live studio audience. That is Rusty, the world-famous Meatball dog. Hey YouTube, Clutch Trucker here. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Clutch Trucker Channel. And yes, you know, it's an authentic Clutch Trucker video indicated by the C and T right there. Clutch Trucker Authentic. Well, if you watched my last video, you know I was in Austin, Indiana, and did a longer break there. Decided to do this all in one longer drive. What was it? My total miles? 765 miles in 11 hours. Just barely made it work, and if I hadn't driven overnight, there's no way in hell I could have done that. Especially going through Atlanta. Come on! I went through Atlanta overnight, between Saturday night and Sunday morning, so that helped that out. It was late enough when I went through Nashville and all that, so that it wasn't that bad. I was able to keep maintaining a pretty good speed. Like I say, there's no way in hell I could have done 765 miles between Indiana and making it all the way down here to Lake City, Florida, if I hadn't been driving overnight. But then that just leaves me 140 miles or so away from my delivery on Monday at a Home Depot in Orlando. So I'm pretty close, so this works out well. As I was leaving where I was in Austin, Indiana yesterday, and then driving down, and I forgot how bad, I usually am not on this stretch of road, how bad I-65 is south of Louisville. My God! Bumpier in hell. It's all concrete at that point, but there's big chunks of it like missing, completely uneven, just bounce the crap out of you. And I think Indiana has some of the worst roads in the country. Already, I think we're kind of killing my shocks. And I noticed then shortly south of Louisville that I think my left drive shock, or my left steer shock, was going out. Sure enough, I verified it as I was driving through Nashville, and I kept hitting some like washboardy type portions of the road, and I could feel the left front steer continuing to keep hopping, which means, you know, my shock is blown. So that's where I started getting on the phone, figuring, oh, I'm sure somewhere along the way I can stop and get that done. You'd think, you know, I'm really getting tired of people still blaming COVID for stuff, but they are. You know, supply chain issues are still a problem. You can't get the parts you need. And then the other thing, and it seems to be worse the further south you get, how people are just not willing to work anymore. So many of the loves and the TAs and stuff, you know, you call them up and, oh yeah, well, we don't have any technicians. They won't be in until 7 a.m. And, you know, really. I called Cartersville TA and asked, you know, for the steer shock, gave them my last 6 of my VIN so they could look it up. And, well, we don't have them, but it shows they have them down in the Petro in Atlanta. So I stopped there in Atlanta. And I spent wasted an hour there, dealing with people who don't want to work. And it's amazing how much time and effort they put in to making sure they don't have to work. It's frightening. You know, I told her the part number, this Gabriel part number. A mechanic guy showed up. He had to tell her 3 times, can you look up this part to help this gentleman? You know, because she didn't want to have anything to do with me. Like I'm not even standing there. And she tries to look it up and says, well, no, I can't say. I'm like, here, look, here's the number. I've got the number. The mechanic guy goes upstairs and looks, comes back down with what he found, but they're drive shocks. They're not the steer shocks. So obviously Cartersville gave me the wrong number. So I said, well, can you go onto your computer there and look up, based on my VIN, what the steer shock equivalent part number would be? Well, I can't do that. You can't, or you won't. She won't. Well, I don't have a parts guy here, so I can't do that, you know. You can look it up. I've been to TAs and Petros for 12 years driving a truck, and I know every one of them can look up, based on my VIN, what shock I need. She just wasn't willing to do it. It's amazing how, like I say, how hard people will work to not work. Wouldn't it just be easier to do your job instead of... Anyway. So I have to look it up, go online, try to find the right part number. Finally, after another half hour, I find it. Then I got to wait another 15 minutes for her to acknowledge me. And I finally get her to write down the number, and she just sitting there going, I need a cup of ice. Really? If I get you a cup of ice, will you do your job? I didn't say that. I wanted to say that. I'm trying to be all pleasant and nice here because I'm trying to get some shocks done. Eventually, the other guy who was trying to help me earlier, he was looking upstairs and I guess called back down to her and said, well, he can't find him. Well, we just don't have him. Sorry, sir. At this point, I'd wasted an hour there and gotten nowhere. Not happy, Bob. So, long story short, I call every other TA between where I was and where I'm going to. And all the Loves on the way to. Nobody has them until I finally got a hold of the Loves here in Lake City, Florida, this morning. And I'm 30 minutes away, and she looks up the part number. She has a Monroe one that works. And I said, oh, that's fantastic. I'll be there in 30 minutes. How busy are you this morning? Well, we don't have a technician coming in until 3 today. 3 p.m. Really? I've been driving all night since yesterday afternoon. I plan to be sleeping by 3 p.m. But thank you anyway. So, that's going to have to be put off. It's just amazing. Blame it on COVID, blame it on whatever you want to blame it on, or just blame it on lazy-ass people who don't want to work, who actually have a job, and they don't do their job, and then a lot of these shops, they can't get technicians to work for them. I guess people made too much money off of their COVID money, and they just realize now that they don't have to work. It's just insane. So try to keep it, and so do you wonder why supply chain solutions are being an issue? Well, we can't even get parts for our trucks. Well, we obviously can't bring crap to you for your store and all that. So, anyway, just had to rant. Sorry, but thanks for tuning in. Obviously, you see I did get a shower again. Dumped my cassette toilet. I realized I need to do a video all about how easy it is for me to roll that in with me into the shower room. Dump the cassette toilet. I'll show you how all that works. Because having the toilet here in the truck is a beautiful thing. It's a game changer, man. It makes me cry how wonderful it is. I'm parked here at this little gas and sip across from TA in Lake City, Florida. The TA, it looks like TA just took over this other truck stop, this Sunoco. And the whole place was slanted. I don't want to be slanted. I don't want to be leaning sideways while I'm trying to sleep. Came over to this one, found a nice, great, flat spot. And grass for Rusty, so he's already been out, and he's happy dog. And of course, he'll get his bacon strip here at the end of the video. But the internet sucks, so I may not even be able to get this one to upload today, Sunday, the 24th. We'll just see. And just on a lighter note for some fun, before I left the Austin Fuel Marts, where I was yesterday in Austin, Indiana, cooked up some burgers, baby, on the old George Forman. Let's take a look. Cooking up some burgers for lunch. Got my buns over there and my lovely Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. And the burgers are swimming around there on the George Forman. Looking so good. Just love having this big flat countertop area to do this on. Right next to my seating area and all that. There's the cheese. Well, when it's ready to go. Yep, thought I'd get some burgers cooked up before we get rolling today. Yeah, I'm hardly eating outside of the truck at all. I mean, I did get some Arby's the other day, and I got some Popeyes a couple days before that or something. But, you know, maybe once to twice a week at most, I'm getting something outside of the truck. I'm all self-contained here, baby. I'm eating and cooking in here. It's so much better. It's better for me. It tastes better. It's cheaper. It's a beautiful thing. Well, thanks for tuning in for that one. Not a lot to talk about, but just, boy, did that just chap my ass. It's amazing how hard people will work to not work. Wouldn't it just be easier to do your job? I'm just saying. Right, Rusty? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so here we are parked. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe. Please like and comment. I get to your comments as soon as I can, usually within 2 to 3 days. Now that I'm back here on the road. Takes me a little while because I'm a working truck driver. Also, don't forget about Clutch Trucker on Instagram, Clutch Trucker on Twitter. I'll try to get better about posting stuff up there again, too. It's been a little while, and I'm sorry about that. And as always, sniff that magic YouTube fairy dust. Clutch and Rusty, out. Hey, fruit cup? Oh, no, thank you. I don't need one. No, I'm talking to you, fruit cup. All right. It's amazing how dogs know certain words like bacon strip. Oh, yeah, look at him, look at him. All right. Here, jump up and get it. Oh, yes. Oh, thank you, Dad. It's so good. Oh, my God, it's my crack cocaine. I love them bacon strips. Yep. You would eat a cat to get a bacon strip, wouldn't you? Who knows? You would probably go to great lengths. All right, since it's been a couple days, we'll give you one more. There you go. Come on. Oh yeah. Well, I think it stopped. He's dropped down there. Ooh, on the rug. We'll have to get that later. There's a little watermelon toy right there. You can see. A little squicker toy. The other one is upstairs, which you can't really see up there right now. But hey. All right. Did you get it all?